Okay, so today we're diving into something I think a lot of people can relate to, heartbreak.
Hmm.
We're taking a look at this book, Can We Be Strangers Again? By Shrijeet Shandilya.
Yeah. And we've got a review here that really seems to get what the book's all about.
Right.
As always, we're adding this to our mental notebook of, you know,
Our ever-growing
yeah,
collection.
exactly, all the different works we cover here.
Mm.
So for you, the learner, what we really want to do is get to the core of what Shandilya is saying about lost love and moving on. Why does this book hit such a nerve?
Mm.
What is it about this specific style that people are responding to?
Well, one of the things that jumps out from the review is the structure of the book.
Yeah.
It's not a typical story with a beginning, middle, and end. It's
Uh-huh.
more like a collection of pieces, little glimpses into different moments and
Like
feelings.
snapshot. Yeah, exactly. Short prose, poetry, reflections, all kind of circling around this idea of what happens after a relationship ends. And the review makes a point about how it's structured by the emotional weight of those moments rather than, a timeline.
Interesting. So it's not a linear narrative. It's more like how we actually experience heartbreak. I mean, it's not a step-by-step process, is it? It's messy, right?
Right. It's like Shandelia is trying to capture that jumbled mix of emotions the way memories come back to you in no particular order. And it's interesting because we're so used to stories having a clear arc, a beginning, middle, and end. But this book, it kind of mirrors that feeling of being lost, of not knowing what comes next.
And the review mentions Chandelier's style, describing it as poignant and emotionally resonant, but also minimalist. It's like he's using very few words, but those words carry a lot of weight.
Yeah. And it seems like that's part of what makes it so powerful. It's not bogged down with unnecessary details. It's just these raw, honest reflections that cut right to the heart of the matter.
So it's like he's giving you just enough to connect with, but leaving space for you to bring your own experiences and interpretations to it.
Exactly. And that can be really powerful because it allows readers to see themselves in the writing, to find their own meaning in it.
So let's get into some of the big themes here. The review highlights love and loss, which seems pretty obvious given the title, right? But it goes deeper than that. It's about that intense connection we feel with someone and then the huge void when it's gone.
Yeah, it's about those two extremes, the incredible highs of being in love and then the devastating lows of losing that love.
It makes you think about how we form those attachments, how we become so intertwined with another person. And then when it's over, you're left trying to figure out who you are without them.
Right. And I think Shandilya is really exploring that sense of disorientation, of losing not just the person, but a whole part of yourself that was connected to them. The shared experiences, the hopes, the dreams, it's all gone. And you're left picking up the pieces.
And that leads us to the next game, memory and nostalgia. The review talks about how those little things, like shared moments, maybe a specific phrase someone always used, or even just comfortable silences, can keep a love alive in our minds long after it's over.
Yeah, it's like those little things become almost sacred. They hold so much emotional weight because they're all you have left. And sometimes you find yourself clinging to them, even if they're painful.
It's interesting, isn't it, how memory works? We tend to focus on the good parts, especially when we're looking back on a relationship that ended. It's like we're trying to hold on to some shred of what was good, even if the overall experience was ultimately painful.
Right. And it's not always a conscious choice either. It's just how our brains work. We're wired to seek out those positive memories, especially when we're hurting. And sometimes those memories can be more vivid than the actual experiences were.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, moving on, we have the journey of healing, which is obviously a major part of this book.
Absolutely.
And the review makes it very clear that this is not a straightforward process. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it's different for everyone.
Right. There's no magic formula for getting over heartbreak. It's not like you wake up one day and everything is fine.
It would be nice if it were that easy, though.
Yeah, wouldn't it? But it's more like a winding road with lots of twists and turns. You have good days and bad days. You take steps forward and steps back. And sometimes you feel like you're going in circles.
It's a process.
Exactly. It's a process and it takes time. And I think the review does a good job of emphasizing that. It's not about rushing through it or trying to force yourself to feel a certain way. It's about allowing yourself to feel all the emotions, to grieve the loss, and to slowly rebuild your life.
And that takes us to the theme of self-reflection and growth. The review suggests that even though heartbreak is incredibly painful, there's also an opportunity for us to learn and grow from the experience.
I think that's a really important point. When we go through something difficult, it can force us to take a look at ourselves, to examine our beliefs and our patterns, and to figure out what we want to change.
So it's not just about getting over the loss of the person, it's about using the experience to become a better version of yourself.
Exactly. It's about finding meaning in the pain and coming out on the other side stronger and wiser.
And then there's the title itself, Can We Be Strangers Again? Which really gets at the heart of this whole book. It's that question of whether it's even possible to go back to being strangers with someone you once shared so much with.
Right. It's such a powerful question, and I think it speaks to the complexity of human relationships. How do you erase that shared history, those intimate moments, the way you knew each other on such a deep level?
It makes you wonder if there's always a part of that connection that remains, even if you never see each other again.
Yeah, I think there probably is. It's like a thread that ties you together, even if it's become very thin and almost invisible. And it makes me think about how our past relationships shape who we are, even the ones that ended.
So the book isn't just about one specific relationship, it's about the bigger picture of how love and loss impact us over time.
Exactly. And the review points out that the book directly asks these questions. How do we let go of someone we love deeply? And can we ever return to being strangers?
And I think just asking those questions out loud, putting them into words, is a huge step in the healing process. It's about acknowledging the pain and the uncertainty without trying to shy away from it.
Right, and it gives the reader permission to ask those questions themselves. It's like Shandilya is saying, hey, it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to struggle with these questions.
The review also praises the raw emotional depth and honesty in Chandelia's writing. It describes it as unapologetically vulnerable. It's like
Yeah.
he's not holding anything back. He's just putting it all out there.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it so relatable because when you're going through heartbreak, you're not exactly feeling polished and put together.
You're not exactly posting your best selfies on Instagram.
Exactly. You're a mess. And Shandilya captures that messiness, that rawness of emotion, in a way that feels very authentic and real. It's like he's giving you permission to be a mess too.
And the reviewer highlights the beauty of the writing itself. It says it's poetic, lyrical, and compact. So even though it's minimalist, there's still a lot of artistry in the language.
Right. It's like he's choosing his words very carefully, like a painter mixing colors on a palette. And those words create these powerful images and emotions that stay with you.
It's like he's found the perfect balance between saying a lot with very little.
Yeah, and that can be really difficult to do. But when it's done well, it can be incredibly impactful.
Now, one of the things the review emphasizes is the universal appeal of these themes. Love, loss, heartbreak, healing. These are things that pretty much everyone experiences at some point in their lives.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter your background, your culture, your age. These are fundamental human experiences. And I think that's a big part of why this book resonates with so many people. It's speaking to something that we all share.
It's finding the common ground in the human experience.
Exactly. And it's reminding us that we're not alone in these experiences, even when it feels like it.
And the review talks about how the book can be a tool for reflection, a way to find comfort and solidarity when you're going through a tough time.
Yeah. It's like having a friend who understands what you're going through,
Yeah.
who can just listen without judgment. And sometimes that's all you need. Someone to say, I get it. I've been there too.
Now, to be fair, the review does mention some potential drawbacks. The fragmented structure, while maybe reflective of how we experience emotions, might not appeal to everyone. Some readers might prefer a more traditional, linear story.
Right. If you're looking for a clear plot with a beginning, middle, and end, this might not be the book for you.
And the intense focus on heartbreak might be emotionally heavy for some people. It's not exactly light reading.
Yeah, you definitely have to be in the right headspace to read this book. If you're already feeling down or vulnerable, it might be a bit too much.
And finally, the minimalism, while effective, might leave some readers wanting more. They might crave more details, more context, more backstory.
I can see that. It's like getting a glimpse into someone's soul, but not quite seeing the whole picture.
Okay, so moving on to the book's impact. It's clearly resonated with a huge audience, especially young adults, and on social media. It's been quoted and shared widely, which speaks to how relatable and accessible it is.
Yeah, it's like Shandilya has tapped into something that a lot of people are feeling, but maybe haven't been able to put into words themselves. And so they're finding solace and validation in his words.
It's like he's given a voice to a generation that's struggling with love and loss in a very specific way.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. And it's interesting to see how this book has become part of a larger conversation about relationships and mental health that's happening online.
And the review points out that it's become almost a therapeutic tool for some people. It's helping them process their emotions and feel less alone.
There's definitely something to be said for the power of shared experience. When you're feeling lost and alone, knowing that someone else gets it, that someone else has felt the same pain, can be incredibly healing.
It's like finding a lifeline.
Exactly. It's a reminder that you're not broken, you're not weird, you're just human.
And finally, the review situates this book within the larger context of modern poetry. It mentions authors like Rupi Kaur and Atticus, who have also found huge success with their minimalist, accessible style.
Yeah, there's definitely a movement happening in poetry right now. It's moving away from the traditional, often inaccessible forms and embracing a more direct conversational style that speaks to contemporary experiences.
It's like poetry is becoming more relevant to everyday life.
Exactly. It's not just for academics and intellectuals anymore. It's for anyone who's ever felt love, loss, joy, pain, all those messy human emotions.
So to sum up, for you, the learner who values getting to the essence of things quickly and efficiently, the fragmented, bite-sized nature of Can We Be Strangers Again actually works in your favor. It offers these little nuggets of insight that you can easily digest and reflect on.
And the exploration of these universal themes ensures that the book remains relevant, regardless of your personal background or experiences. We all know what it's like to love, to lose, to hurt, to heal. And this book speaks to those shared experiences.
And it's important to remember that even those potential drawbacks we discussed, the fragmentation, the emotional intensity, the minimalism, those are all part of what makes this book unique and impactful.
Right. It's not for everyone, but for the people it does resonate with, it can be a truly powerful experience.
So in wrapping up our deep dive into Shrijeet Shandilya's Can We Be Strangers Again, we've seen how this collection of writing offers a raw, honest, and moving exploration of love, loss, and the difficult but ultimately rewarding journey of healing.
And it's the book's ability to capture those fleeting moments of heartbreak and resilience through its minimalist yet profound style that has resonated so deeply with a wide audience. And the central question posed by the title, the possibility of truly returning to a state of disconnection after such intense intimacy, is something that lingers long after you've finished reading.
Yeah, it really makes you think about the lasting impact of our relationships, even the ones that end. And so with that in mind, we'll leave you with this final thought.
When you consider the depth of connection that we can experience with another person, what does it really mean to become a stranger again? Is it simply about physical distance, or is there a more profound shift that happens within us? And is it even possible to fully erase the memories, the emotions, the imprint that someone has left on our hearts?
These are tough questions, and there are no easy answers. But perhaps grappling with those questions, allowing ourselves to sit with the discomfort of not knowing, is part of what it means to be human.
Maybe it's in that space of uncertainty, of not having all the answers, that we truly begin to understand ourselves and the complexities of our relationships with others.
So take some time to reflect on your own experiences. Think about the people who have touched your life, both the ones who stayed and the ones who left, and consider what it means to you to be a stranger, to be connected, to be human in all its messy glory.
And maybe, just maybe, in asking those questions, you'll find a deeper understanding of yourself and the intricate tapestry of human connection that weaves us all together.